So Kai keyed Darian's car. I did like this because it wasn't really keyed. It was like with paint. I guess like one of the Sharpie brush things. I'm gonna go ahead and insert the clip here. So yeah, Darian posted that on social media a couple days ago. Now this week it was a lot of like back and forth. I will insert like all of the screenshots that I took because y'all know I'm taking a screenshot. I'm gonna post all of those like at the end of the video. It was screenshots between Alexia and Kai and Darian, and I'm just like, oh Lord. So okay, long story short, Kai and Darian were together after the show, which I don't understand because Kai, like, what did you expect? You expected him to just like throw her away with like no regard for her after 14 years, and he supposed to what? Be faithful to you? How did it work? So anyway, I guess Alexia sent Kai like the YouTube video of Darian lying about him and Kai or whatever, and Kai was like, girl, I don't care why you sending this to me. It was back and forth. It was like, girl, I do not want a threesome with you and him. Stop texting me, stop DMing me. What is it called? The IG story thing. I don't know what that's called. Like, it's not subtweeting, but whatever, I don't know. So there was that. Darian was just like, she wants to move in with him, and he was just like, no, and that's why she keyed the car. Then I saw like a text that Kai posted, I guess from like a viewer talking to Darian, and he was just like, oh, Kai is the best thing that's happened to me since the show, and she's here right now cooking for me and my son. Now, I don't know the date of that DM, but I'm just like, so y'all was really together. I mean, I knew that because my screenshot from before with like her and him in a car after they shot the reunion. So I was just like, y'all shot the reunion and y'all left together? But okay, what else happened? Like I said, back and forth with Alexia and Kai. I feel like Alexia was trying to tell her, like, girl, look, he ain't really nothing, like, don't be with him. And Kai was just like, girl, forget you, basically. And why y'all beefing? Like, y'all don't owe each other nothing. No, it's on him. But why y'all beefing? But yeah, that was pretty much the drama I saw on social media this week between them three. And like I said, I'll go ahead and include those, screenshots at the end of the video. Now, don't go ahead and like, skip to, but like if you do, come on back and watch the review. All right, let's go ahead and get to the actual episode and what happened in the episode. So, the episode picks up where they left off last week, talking to Jessica about Mother's Day, and she was really upset because she wanted to be acknowledged for being a good mom. And Eric says that he apologized and he wanted to be acknowledged or recognized. And Dr. Nicole was just like, wait, you want her to acknowledge your apology, but you didn't acknowledge her for Mother's Day. Like, you're asking for the same thing, but you're not saying it that way. So Dr. Nicole says it's about choices. So now they're going to go ahead and discuss their dates, the different dates. Sean says, with, I think her name was Tyray, they had a good time, and he noticed that he can kind of control himself without it being a sexual relationship, or that it has to be like sexual or whatever. Lorena says it sounds like growth, and she says that her date with, his name is Derek, they have a lot of similarities, and she was kind of nervous to me talking about this. But she kind of liked him. Long story short, she liked him. And I watched a review a couple of days ago, and they said that LaRonda is not really doing enough work to, like everybody else, is kind of like having like self-discoveries and like opening up a little bit. And LaRonda is not. And the more I watch the show, I'm just like, maybe she got a point. But anyway, okay, they talk about Eric's date with Leilani, and he says that she was very flirtatious and very touchy-feely. And Jessica was just like, what you mean touchy-feely? Touchy me well. Like, what you mean? Dr. Nicole says, Eric was just like, yeah, but it wasn't a big deal. And Dr. Nicole says, well, do you want her to disregard your feelings the same way you just did? And he was just like, it's not a big deal. You know, y'all doing the same thing. That was pretty much it. She said it goes both ways. It's a give and take, give and take, give and take. Okay? They talk about Jessica's date and how he read her palm and said he gonna be in her future. Child, no, you're not. They talk about how she did not wear makeup on her date and she still kind of felt seen. She said she can be herself and that it was nice to be around somebody who was interested in her mind and her conversation. And I was like, was he really? Because, I mean, y'all have not had no, like, super deep conversations to me, her and Sean, but, I mean, anyway. But Eric does say she's beautiful either way, with makeup and without, and I agree with him. Dr. Nicole says, you know, do you all want second dates or will you pass? You guys have that option this week to go on another date with your person, a new person, or just say, you know what, I'm done with the dates. Sean says no new dates. And it kind of made it seem like he wanted her, LaRonda, to also say no to another date with her date. But she was just like, this is hard, but yeah, I want a third date with Derek. Sean was just like, I'm confused as to why you need another date. Like, what's going on with y'all? I'm just like, control. I put it in my notes, control. Jessica says yes to a fourth date with Sean. And Eric feels like, well, that's when emotions start coming in on the fourth date. Is it not the third? I mean, I feel like it can be any day. I mean, look at Darian and Kai. But anyway, Jessica says that yes, Eric should be worried about Sean and her going on all of these dates with him. Okay, Eric decides yes, he wants to go on a third date with Leilani. And Jessica said, well, you know what, just respect yourself, respect me, respect us. It's kind of like control, boundaries that y'all said y'all didn't have, but okay. Eric says he has a question like, should he be getting married if someone else can make him feel however he's feeling when it comes to Leilani? Dr. Nicole says that this week she wants them to focus on family and just find out, you know, how does the family impact the relationship? Is it time to move on or put a ring on it? I mean, at this point, I don't think either should be putting a ring on it, but okay. That's just my opinion. Y'all can disagree. Let me know in the comments. Next, we see the car ride with Jessica and Eric. They discuss Darian. Jessica said there's no forgiving of this situation. And she said if it was her, she would be in jail. So does that mean that Eric has never cheated, or was it like open in the beginning and then y'all kind of closed it up? Remind me of The Shy. But like, what's going on? Jessica talks about how she could just be herself with Sean, and it really just feels like I don't really get their disconnect. Like, it sounds like she's saying these things about him so that Eric can, you know, come to the same conclusion in a sense. But okay. Eric says that he's growing and that he's willing to compromise. Aside from the dates with Leilani, I'm having a hard time when it comes to the dates. Because, I don't know. Anyway, next we see LaRonda and Sean have a family discussion. LaRonda says that her family tells her not to let him go on dates because somebody gonna snatch him up. I mean, girl, you already done snatched him up. And it seemed like he wanted to be there with you, so have at it. Sean says that growing up, his parents, you know, he experienced domestic violence, or he witnessed domestic violence, and his dad was an alcoholic, and he just has horrible feelings when it comes to his dad. LaRonda says her dad is her world, and for Sean, it's his mom. His mom is his world. LaRonda says that, you know, Sean does have added pressure when it comes to, like, not wanting to be like your dad, like being better than your dad does add pressure for Sean, and I could see that. Next we see Leilani and Eric at the salt room. He said he was excited to relax with someone else other than Jessica. Leilani said that they have chemistry and is grown. I noticed all that hand holding they were doing. They was hand holding in their regular clothes. They changed into the robes and y'all still holding hands. I'm like, Jessica ain't gonna like that. Eric says that he's dealing with challenges and temptation, and her boobs were kind of out. He wanted to like close her shirt, and he was like, close it. No, she was like, you just want to touch me, don't you? I don't know. He said he didn't expect things to be so intimate with Leilani. I mean, maybe it's the dates. I think it's just her. She's real like open and flirty, and he's kind of like the same. He's not like, he closed that road, but like, you was looking. Anyway, he said he's glad to be at peace because there's no fighting and arguing when it comes to Leilani. But like, I'm pretty sure in the beginning, I hope, with Jessica, y'all wasn't arguing and fighting all the time. I mean, you put time in, y'all gonna argue about some things. It happens to everybody that's been together for a long time. So like, yeah, it's an escape for you right now because she don't know about what's going on with your mom and Jessica and, you know, y'all dynamic. She just know y'all on a date and she want to have fun. I mean, okay, anyway. He said he likes to experience. He sees what he needs and what he's not getting at home when it comes to Jessica. And I think Jessica is having a similar experience with Sean, but she gonna still choose Eric anyway, for whatever reason. Eric says, but what's next? To her. And I'm just like, why are you asking her? What you want her to say? But anyway, he's trying to decide what he gonna do. And I noticed that he was laying on her and rubbing on her leg a little bit. He was a little too close for me. And I'm just like, I know Jessica watching this bet, like, if they still together, she got in there watching this together, she has to be side-eyeing him. Like, oh, you rubbing on her leg? I just wonder. Anyway, next we see LaRonda's date. Derek, they're gonna be at the park doing some boxing. It was a cute scene, but LaRonda says that he has the qualities that she wished she had in her relationship. She said confidence, goal-driven, and a leader. Are you saying those things are not Sean? She tries to clean it up though. She was just like, well, I'm not saying that Sean don't have them, but no, you said you want somebody that's confident, goal-driven, and a leader. Anyway, LaRonda and her date, they sit down and Derek says that he would date her if things did not work out with her and Sean. They discuss their similarities and how they have had like great conversations so far on their dates. But for me, it kind of seemed like a friend, like networking type of vibe to me. And she says she's still on the fence. But girl, you gonna be with Sean. Like that. Next we see Eric and Jessica talk. They discuss Eric's mom and how Jessica says, you know, how a man treats his mom is how he treats you. That's a saying that people always say. He ices his mom out in the same way that he does her. He says, you know, I want to talk to her, but it's hard to reach out to somebody that's not reaching back for you. He says she's never satisfied and he built her a house, but she was just like, where the furniture at? Or I got furniture, but where the car at? Like, she was just never satisfied when it came to him. He feels like he's always the one apologizing to her, his mom, and that could be tough. I mean, seriously. Jessica says that, you know what, that's your mom, and it does have an impact on us. How you treat us, how you treat me, it has an impact, believe it or not. Jessica says she's big on family since she didn't have her biological mom, you know, and she has abandonment issues. Jessica decided to open up, and I have had this same thought. She said that if my mom didn't want me, why would someone else? And I had to kind of like pause the TV for a little bit, but I'm not even going to think about it too much. I'm going to keep going. She goes into how her mom was, I'm assuming that she was a white lady and she was a prostitute. and she had a racist family. Jessica's dad was black, and they just were not feeling her having this child, and her aunt had to step in and take her. Jessica lets us know that she was also a dancer, and she attributes it to her mom having a similar lifestyle or background as she was coming up. Eric says that this conversation means a lot, and he said he'll try because their end goal is, marriage in the ring. He is growing. I really like Eric a lot. More and more. He's definitely my favorite guy on the show at this point. Next, we see Alexia's house. You know how it used to say Darian and Alexia's house. Now it just say Alexia's house. Next, we see Alexia. She says she's annoyed, and they want to support her. And honestly, it does seem like they have built a real friendship, Alexia, Jessica, and LaRonda. So I think that's awesome. It was just like, well, when was there a number exchange? After the fourth date, she already said she had feelings for him, and you slept with her anyway. You had sex with her and then ghosted her. He said it was a mistake, but when you did that, you kind of threw us away, and there's nothing you can do to change that. In 10 years from now, you would have still done that. And a week from now, it's done. It has been done. She says that she now has more respect for herself, and she can be who she needs to be. And I agree. I just kind of hate that she wasted 14 years because that's time you cannot get back. Time is really valuable. But anyway, I'm not on the soapbox. Next, we see Jessica's fourth date with Sean. She looks really pretty. And they are both excited. And I wrote down, is he nervous? Like, his energy just kind of felt like fidgety and nervous. It could have been the cameras. It could have been like her. But he just seemed nervous to me. Sean starts telling Jessica how he feels about her. He was being very vulnerable, very open in this moment. And Jessica was just like, wait, why doesn't Eric share his feelings about me in the same way? She said, well, what if this is your last time seeing me? He kind of seemed really sad. He was just like, I will be unfulfilled, but I do want her to be happy. Next, we see the couples are back with Dr. Nicole to discuss, the week's assignments and how everything went with the dates and their family, discussions. We start off with Jessica and Eric. He says he will reach out to his mom, and he says that the issue is that he kind of gives, and all the mom does is take. I really hope that they have had a conversation before this came out so that it's not more strained on their relationship. He said that the NFL caused a shift in their relationship because of the money that he was making, and mom probably, kind of felt entitled to some of that or a certain lifestyle. He said he did learn to say no, and that he wants to write her a letter expressing how he feels and do it this way because he can't be upset at her response, and he can kind of get out what he needs to say without being interrupted. So I think it's a good idea. Dr. Nicole says, try to make sure you include boundaries in your letter to kind of make it clear, what your boundaries are, what you will accept and what you will not accept, even though it's your mom you're talking to. Jessica says that it shows that he does want it to work out with his mom, that he's willing to even write her anything and say anything to her. They go into how they argue and how it kind of translates back to their relationship and their communication styles. They discuss how they're going to be trying to blend families. We found out that yes, Eric has 2 kids, and we know that Jessica has 2 kids. So they're going to be blending their families together, and they don't want the kids to see them arguing all the time. Dr. Nicole says it's okay for them to see conflict. They're going to see it anywhere, on TV, in school, in their own lives. It's going to happen. But just try to find ways to do it, respectfully and in a healthy way. Communicate. It doesn't have to be combative all the time, pretty much. they go into Jessica and how, you know, what she's gone through, how it has made her who she is today. And Eric is kind of grateful for her and who she is. He said it's a plus that she's going through what she's going through and she's still who he loves, basically. And Jessica says, now he's starting to see me. But it doesn't seem like what they were talking about her mom and stuff, was like new information to Eric. So I don't know if that would cause him to like light bulb and see her, but I mean, you know, I guess it's good for the show. Next, we talk to LaRonda and Sean. She's really big on family. He is kind of cool with everyone, you know, but his dad. Sean says, if I see him, I see him. He said he is a source of pain for him and he does need healing. Dr. Nicole had a really good point. She said, and she be coming with the gems, like for real. But anyway, she said there is a difference between reconciliation and resolution. You can't make anybody come, but you can definitely resolve on your own how things are, how things will be. Dr. Nicole says that their choice isn't always about you. And when she said that, it kind of made me think a little bit about my own background and my own like growing up family dynamic, because both of my parents also have substance abuse problems, or had. One still does, like, yeah, whatever. But anyway, and I did have to resolve in my mind like how things will be, and that, you know, it's not about me. They have their own separate lives as a person outside of me. Anyway, she says that no, we do not get to choose our parents. She says you can resolve things on your own, and then you'll be free to move forward without this, you know, without this chip on your shoulder of this hurt and pain caused by someone who may not even know. Like, you know, like, so anyway, she says, thank you guys for doing the work. I really appreciate you guys. Then they talk about their dates. LaRonda says, you know what, he was feeling the kid, he was feeling me, and I kind of was too. But she said no more dates to Derek. But like I said, it definitely felt more like a friendship, like networking thing, more so than like a romantic thing for me. I could be tripping, I don't know. She goes into how her decision is based off how, I guess, Sean has reacted to her dates. He's become more calmer. He's no longer throwing up with peanut butter and jelly, so she don't need no more dates, I guess. Jessica says the date was good, it was romantical, and he got teary-eyed when asking about, will this be the last time he sees her? Dr. Nicole says, well, was that a new emotion that you are experiencing a man have for you? She says yes, because I guess Eric expresses himself more when he's angry than he does when he's happy. Dr. Nicole wants to know, is it more of an emotional connection you guys have, or is it more of a, like, you all communicate when you're angry type of situation with you guys? And she says, well, I expressed my love, my heart to him, but he's mostly angry when he's expressing himself to me. And Eric got offended. He said that I send her stuff all the time to show her I care. And for her to say that, it breaks my heart. And I was just like, ugh. It really felt like at that moment that they have like went 5 steps ahead and like went back 10. So like, I was just like, oh, well, why'd she say that? I mean, but if that's her truth, that's her truth. You know, you can't, it is what it is. But next time we see, it's going to be decision time. They're going to be going dress and ring shopping. We see Eric and Leilani again on a date, hugging real close. We see Jessica having time with Dr. Nicole one-on-one, and she says that her standards are low. I looked at Jessica a little bit different, but I always knew she wasn't just like a dumb blonde. But her story is there's definitely some parallels, you know. The abandonment thing is a real thing. I don't know if Eric really understands it or if he's really her person. I mean, you can't be afraid for the wrong person to leave you. You know what I'm saying? Like, did it make sense? I don't know. I hope it does. Anyway, I'm not a philosopher. I am a teacher. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and insert those screenshots. Take a look, y'all. It was interesting this week on Instagram.